Hey everybody, welcome back. So this week we are going over chapter 9, which is photosynthesis. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so ATP, we've learned about this. It's adenosine triphosphate. It is that very important energy molecule, right? I think I described it once probably as a flashlight, okay? And when it's charged, it has 3 phosphates. When it's not charged, it only has 2. So breaking this bond with this last phosphate is what releases the energy. There's 3 major parts to adenosine triphosphate. Tri means 3, phosphate is phosphate group, so here we have 3 phosphates, right? On this side we have adenine, okay? So if you remember your bases from DNA, adenine is one of those bases, so that is where that comes from. The next part, this is a 5-carbon sugar. It's called ribose. And then we have our 3 phosphate groups. So a DP, which is adenosine diphosphate, this is the uncharged version of the molecule, has the same parts, right? So we have adenine, we have our ribose, but instead of the 3 phosphate groups, now it's di. Di means 2, so now we have 2 phosphate groups. So here is the storing energy model. So when a cell has energy available, it can store small amounts of it by adding a phosphate group to ADP, and that produces ATP. So think about ADP as like a partially charged battery, okay? And then once you charge it up, it is ATP, that's a fully charged battery that you can then use. Now, once you use the battery, is it fully charged? No, it goes right back to ADP. So ATP is fully charged. Once you use that energy, it's converted back to ADP. All right. So the fact that ATP can easily release and store energy by breaking and reforming those bonds makes it an extremely useful molecule for cellular energy, right? So here is a quick little flow chart. So we have ATP, right, our fully charged version. We're going to use some energy. So we're going to break off a phosphate that's going to release a large amount of energy, okay? And it will leave us with ADP. Then we can use energy that comes in and store that by attaching another phosphate with that energy. All right, so cells have to produce ATP. So in photosynthesis, plants convert the energy of sunlight into chemical energy, and they store that in the bonds of carbohydrates. If you remember, carbohydrates are sugars, okay? Cells aren't born with a supply of ATP. They have to produce it somehow. So where do you think you get the ATP in your cells? It comes from the food that you eat, right? For plants, do they eat food? No. So where does theirs come from? And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about here. All right, heterotrophs versus autotrophs. So organisms that make their own food are autotrophs. That would be plants, right? Organisms that obtain food by consuming other living things are heterotrophs. So hetero meaning different. So humans are heterotrophs, dogs are heterotrophs. Anything that consumes something else would be a heterotroph. All right, we're going to stop there for 9.1. There's going to be a short question at the end of this video for you to answer, and then we will move on to 9.2. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help.